Hello, and welcome to the Archives. Uh, today, today I'd like to talk to you about the next data pack in the Mumbad cycle that's going to be released hopefully soon. We're going to delve right into, I believe, let me just uh, double check here. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Yes. I believe it is called Fear the Masses. Uh, so we're going to delve right into the cards because there's a lot of cards. From what I've seen, from what I've seen when I was getting ready for this episode, it looks like the cards are very much this particular data pack is very heavily corp influenced. The other data pack was a little bit more runner influenced, and this one seems to be more corp influenced, which is good. Which is good. I like some balance. Uh, so let's dive right in and look at the first. Here we go. We have, uh, I believe that's Harshchandra Entertainment, where you're the star, an NBN identity. Uh, do do do. Oh my, look at that. If the runner is tagged, he or she plays with his or her grip revealed. That that could be that could be evil, especially for the corp. I kind of like that though. The thematic component behind it. You're tagged, so we know everything about you. That sort of thing. Very interesting. Um, we know what you want is the tagline behind that. And we have a 45 minimum deck size and a 17 influence. So it's got a couple more influence points than usual, which is interesting. Uh, yeah, I would not mind playing this one at all as an NBN identity. I usually tend to play one of the base identities where it's like, here's two free recurring credits that you can use for traces. Because I've got just a metric ton of tracer ice in my NBN deck. Okay, let's go to the next card and see what we have here. Ah, here we have Ibrahim Salem. Ibrahim Salem. It's got the little diamond beside it, so you can only have one of him active at any one time. Two res cost, five trash. Ooh, and he is an asset alliance character. This card costs zero influence if you have six or more non-alliance NBN cards in your deck. As an additional cost to res Ibrahim Salem, forfeit an agenda. Okay. So not just to res it, but you also have to forfeit an agenda. When your turn begins, name a card type. Look at the runner's grip and trash one card in it of the name type. Oh, wow. Oh, that is evil to have up. Just letting you trash runner cards. And as you can see, the guy's looking like a bit of a bruiser here. He's got the cigar. He's got what looks to be a cricket bat covered with blood. And this guy's been beat up. Yeah, not a nice character. Three influence for him. But it costs zero if you have more non-alliance cards in your deck. So using him, it's worth to have NBN alliance cards in your deck. Hmm. I, ju- I just thought of something as well. Um, all it says here is, as well as on some of the other cards, they cost zero influence if you have six or more non-alliance whatever cards in your deck. Uh, if you're running an NBN deck, well, no, then it wouldn't work. Because if you're running an NBN deck, this doesn't cost influence. So yeah, okay. I was thinking something completely out of left field. All right, let's move on to the next card. See what we have. Do do do. Oh my. Here we have a full immersion rec studio. It is 2 credits to Res. Full Immersion Rec Studio can host up to 2 assets and or agendas. Ah. The trash cost of Full Immersion Rec Studio is increased by 3 for each card hosted on it. Oh, wow. Flavor text, the costumes aren't strictly necessary, but they improve the performances of the Vactors and the Sensi Stars. Hmm, interesting. I know what Sensi Stars are. They're like basically actors. But then you have V actors, Vactors. So I assume that's a squished word. What is it? A portmanteau or portmanteau they call it. With virtual actors, Vactors. But the fact that it can host up to 2 assets or agendas means you can have 3 cards on this. Uh, no, wait, yeah, yeah, you can have 2 cards on the asset because it is an asset, and then you can put 2 more assets or agendas on it, and the trash cost for it is increased by 3. It starts with a trash cost of 3. You get 2 cards on it, the trash cost is 9. That's that's nice. So it kind of defends itself almost. The runner has to be like, they got to blow a lot of credits just to trash it. 4 influence rating on this too. So yeah, the NBN doesn't want anyone having that. All right, let's take a peek at the, I believe, last NBN card in this particular data pack. Here we have the Navi Mumbai City Grid. 2 credits to res. It is an upgrade region. During a run on this server, the runner cannot use paid abilities on non-icebreaker cards. Ooh. Limit 1 region per server, of course. The entertainment capital of Mumbad. 3 credits to trash it. But I kind of like it. The runner cannot use paid abilities on non-icebreaker cards. So that basically means if it's not an icebreaker card during a run on that server, they can't use the paid abilities. That could hamper a runner for sure, especially some of the ones that deal with a lot of paid abilities, comboing off of other paid abilities. Yeah, that would even prevent them from using a paid ability um, on their identity card. Actually, wouldn't it? I think so. Yeah, I can see myself throwing this in a deck. Definitely, for sure. 2 influence rating. Uh, hmm, I kind of like that. All right, let's move on to the next one. Aha, here we have a Wayland Consortium card, Election Day. Uh, because the elections are a big thing over in India because they're doing the elections on whether um, voting on whether clones are going to be whether they have rights. It's one of the main thematic um, points in the Mumbad cycle. So election day is 0 credits to play. It's an operation. Operation trash all cards in HQ, minimum of 1, draw 5 cards. A new administration means we have to start greasing the wheels all over again. Let's get to work. 2 influence cost on this card. I, I can see how this would be good, especially if you have a hand of nothing. You can be like, I trash everything. I trash all my cards and draw a new deck, draw a new hand. I, I can see how that would be definitely useful. Even I might use it, even though I'm leery about trashing stuff. Yeah. And of course, the art we have the champagne bottle being uncorked, champagne spraying out. There's a big party and confetti in the background. Yay, we won, we won. Kind of like it. I kind of like that. All right. And here we have Subcontract. We have a uh, beautiful young looking Indian woman with a gun in her hand and apparently blood on her new shoes that she's looking quite disgusted about. 0 credits to play this. Operation Grey Ops. Play only if the runner is tagged. And this one says play up to 2 operations from HQ, paying all costs, resolving them one at a time. Flavor text: judicious use of freelancers can increase efficiency and protect the company from legal repercussions. It's what they call a win-win. 3 influence cost on this. Yeah, I got a buddy of mine I just played Netrunner the other day with. I can see him using this, being like, I play this because you're tagged. Then I play Two Scorched Earth, you're dead. Because he does like his Wayland. Um, okay, yeah, that could be a nasty deck. All right, let's see here. We've got Zealous Judge. That is a Wayland card. 2 credit res, asset character. We've got a guy with a rather bouffant looking hairdo, pompadour, big mustache, and he seems to be singing, possibly karaoke. Zealous Judge can only be rezzed if the runner is tagged. Oh no. And that's a click and a credit to give the runner a tag. So if the runner is tagged, you can then res this and then be like, click credit, give you a tag, click credit, give you a tag, click credit, give you a tag. Oh, that is evil. Mm. 2 credits to trash only. Oh, that is evil. That is so evil. I don't like this card at all. No. My friend can never have this card. He can never have this card. Ever. Ever. Oh, all right. Let's get away from the Wayland. Let's go to see Jinteki, okay? Yes. Jinteki, here we are with an agenda. Improved protein source. 4 credits um, to score this. 3 points for an agenda. It's a 3 point agenda. When improved protein source is scored or stolen, the runner gains 4 credits. So it doesn't matter if they steal it or you score it, the runner gets 4 credits. When they eat us, we eat them. The cycle goes on and on. Omar Keurig, the flashpoint, and the picture is it. It's what it looks like a conveyor belt putting maggots or some other kind of grubs into this shredder, which is kind of disgusting. No, just oh, Jinteki, why you gotta be so disgusting? Why, man? Why? I like you, Jinteki, I do, but oh, that's okay. Uh, let's move on to the next card. Here we have voter intimidation. 1 credit to play is a Grey Ops Psi operation. We see this terrified-looking old man in his bed with the head of a clone and blood all over his sheets. There. You or play only if there is an agenda in the runner's score area. You and the runner secretly spend 0, 1, or 2 credits. Reveal spent credits. If you and the runner spent a different number of credits, trash 1 resource. 2 credit influence costs on that. Not bad. Not bad at all. I kind of like that. It lets you trash a resource with moderate ease. because you got like a 33% 0.33 repeating decimal, of course, chance to get through and do that. That I like this card. This could go into my Jinteki deck easily, easily. Okay, over here we have the we've jumped over to Haas Bioroid. We have a transaction operation, lateral growth, 2 credits to spend, 2 influence cost, gain 4 credits. You may install 1 card, paying the install cost. Okay. So you pay 2 credits, you get 4, and can install a card, paying the install cost. Doesn't matter what type. Hmm. So you're spending a click. You're basically spending a click, gaining 2 credits, and installing a card. That's kind of worth it, I think, maybe. Hmm. The image looks interesting. Some sort of 2 cars colliding, 2 hoppers maybe in midair, and there's a guy jumping for what looks like a rubber duck, or maybe multiple rubber ducks. I don't know. We got the flavor text on here. Practical effects are expensive, but worth it. I had to smash 17 stunt bioroids to get this shot. Parvati Kapoor, director. And this card is 2 influence cost if I forgot to mention that. I think I already did. Hmm. I kind of like the intense action scene rubber ducks. It's it's bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. I think the rubber duck is meant to be falling, and he's like reaching for it, going, "No, my rubber duck." It could be. It could be. All right. On to the next card. Here we have Hospiroid Ice. It is a code gate, 3 costs, 3 credits to res, 3 strength, magnet. When you res magnet, host a program on it that is hosted on an installed piece of ice. Okay, let me read that again. When you res magnet, host a program on it that is hosted on an installed piece of ice. Okay, so as soon as you res it, you can move a program that's hosted on another piece of ice onto magnet. The text box of each program hosted on magnet is blank. End the run subroutine. When the enemy has mastered the battlefield, change the battlefield. The playbook. I like this. This seems like a really good way of getting around some anarchs, especially who use stuff like Parasite, who use Kaisa programs, that sort of thing, because you get that out and you're like, I res it, I move this Parasite that you had over there over onto here. Your text box is now blank. Parasite's not doing anything to me. Ha ha. I like that. Magnet would definitely be uh, going into my next design deck as some ice, because it's not a bad little code gate. It could replace a couple of code gates I have in there, maybe, maybe, maybe. And the image is looks really nice too. It's got this swirly thing. Everything looks like it's being sucked into a vortex. Very, very cool. Very cool. All right, let's move over to the next one. Here we've gotten down to the point where we're at the neutral corp cards. This is a neutral agenda merger. 3 credits to score 2 agenda points worth. It's an expansion agenda, and you've got this wonderful little image of what looks like 2 a red and a blue sphere entity thing kind of merging together. So it's a very thematic little image. Merger is worth one additional agenda point while in the runner's score area. Survival of the fittest is so outdated. In finance, it's survival of the fattest. Omar Keurig, the flashpoint. Okay. So this is a 3 point agenda. You could score that in a single turn if you had the credits. So that's not a problem. It's only worth two, but this is an agenda you don't want the runner to get because if the runner gets it, it's worth three to them. Oh, pardon me. Mm. Yes, it's worth three to them. Ooh, interesting. Okay, let's do some runner cards. What little there is on the runners in this deck. We're going to pop over here, and here we have a program for the Anarchs. We have Agor. Is it Agora or Agora? I think it's Agora. It is an icebreaker AI diva. We've seen some divas before. 5 credits to install, 1 memory unit cost, strength 2. It has the little abilities that you can pay a credit to break ice subroutine on a piece of ice that has a res cost of 5 or greater. So anything with a res cost of 5 or greater, any of those big pieces of ice, you can just break subroutines on it regardless. Um, it has uh, plus +1 strength. You can add a for a credit, and for 2 credits you can swap Agora with a Deva program from your grip. Oh, so once you get this installed, if you have a more powerful, more costly um, program, you can just swap it out for 2 credits. Oh, now that's handy. That's handy. I like that. I do like that. This may be something. This particular one may be something that I may have to look at including in um, in my Rain Roja deck with all my Kaisa Ice. Have some Kaisa Ice. Have Agora here. A couple of other Devas that I can be like swap, 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 swap. Uh, I hope they're doing that with the Devas in this new cycle. Hmm. I like this one a lot. I do. All right. Let's check the next one. Here we have Bagat. 3 credits to install a resource connection. Has a little diamond symbol, so you can only have one active at one time. The first time you make a successful run on HQ each turn, force the corp to trash the top card of R&D. They don't want to listen, so we'll just have to crank up the volume. And it looks like he's wearing some sort of a gas mask that is also connected to a megaphone. Kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. Um, Apparently, from what the Fantasy Flight website says, uh, Bagat is supposed to be, they're like holy men, men that uh, the the big societies tend to listen to. So I can see him being an anarch, Bagat, is definitely something a little more raucous. Uh, so I kind of like some of these cards. Oh, here we have the limit 6 per deck for this cycle, or this data pack. Fear the Masses, which also happens to be the title of this data pack. 1 credit to play the event. It is a run sabotage. You can make a run on HQ. If successful, instead of accessing cards, force the corp to trash the top card of R&D. You may reveal X copies of Fear the Masses from your grip to force the corp to trash X additional cards. Limit 6 per deck. 2 influence, of course. Um, oh yeah, so I forgot to mention, uh, Agora was at 2 influence. Bagat was at 4, and of course Fear the Masses here is at 2. So yeah, you can if you've got 5 additional copies, if you've got all 6 of them in your hand, which is probably difficult to do, but you got all 6 of them in your hand, you play one, you make the run on HQ, and you're successful, then you not only force the corp to trash the top card, but the top 6 because you've got 5 more in your hand. So yeah, this could be deadly in an Anarch deck that that wants to tear the corpse house down and mill their deck. This would just make it go faster. Yeah, it's evil. And that doesn't even count when you get into some of the Anarchs pulling cards back from their heap to play again. Um, you could just mill the corp real quickly, depending on the corp in question. Hmm. Evil, evil card. Okay, let's jump to the next. Here we have Ankusa. It is an Icebreaker Fractor. It costs 6 credits to install, 1 memory unit. If you use Ankusa to break all subroutines on a barrier during a single encounter, add that barrier to HQ. 2 credits to break barrier subroutine, 1 credit for +1 strength, but it starts with a 0 strength. A 3 influence cost program. Now, despite it being 6 credits to install and 0 credits, I would use that. That would go in my Shaper deck because, for Chaos Theory especially, get that program out for a breaker, for a barrier breaker, and then you're just like, I just go and trash, basically. You're like, I break all the subroutines on that barrier, put it back in your hand. And now I'm walking through. It, I like this a lot. The art is wonderful. I believe that is an actual Ankusa. That's supposed to be the weapon. It's got the point and like the little hook, so you can jam it in or use it to pull. And yeah, I really do like this particular one. Okay, on to the next. Here we have an event for Shapers. The Price of Freedom. 0 credits to play. We see some sort of um, it looks like some sort of a riot going on, or something's happening. There's people in the background, and then you have some guy that's dead. I think it's a guy. It might be a girl. It's very hard to tell from this particular, with the robes that he's wearing, that they're wearing, I should say, the position of the body. It's hard to tell if that's a man or a woman. But you can definitely see Jasminder Serene from the last data pack crying over the body. So obviously someone she knows. Event. As an additional cost to play this event, trash an installed connection. Okay, that's why you have. Yep, okay. The corp cannot advance cards during his or her next turn. Remove the price of freedom from the game instead of trashing it. Okay, so it's free to play in terms of credits. You still have to spend a click and trash an installed connection, but it stops the corp from advancing cards. Not bad. I can see how that would be definitely useful. Definitely useful. Okay, we'll hit the next one. Now we're into some criminal. I love this particular card. The image looks very ephemeral. It looks like there's almost a sphere here in the middle, and it's called the Black File. And the Black File has a little diamond, so you can only use one of it. 5 credits to install this virtual resource. The corp cannot win the game unless the runner is flatlined. When your turn begins, place 1 power counter on the Black File. When there are 3 or more power counters on the Black File, remove it from the game. Limit 1 per deck. So not only can you only have 1 of it, but there's only 1 per deck. 5 credit install, 4 credit or 4 influence cost, but it stops the corp from winning unless you're flatlined for 4 turns, I'd say. Because your turn would begin, you would play this card. The best course of action would be to play it first click of your turn. Then you would have to, then the next turn it would add a power counter, the turn after, and the turn after. So it would give you pretty much almost 4 full turns that the corp can't win from agendas. They can only win by flatlining you. That is a stall tactic. Between that and the price of freedom, that they can't advance cards, there's a couple stall tactics in here for if the corp is getting close to winning. Yeah, I I, I do kind of like this. It's an interesting card. It makes things definitely very very interesting. And I think, yep, we're down to our the last card we have here. We have a neutral runner card. Rigged results costs 0 credits to play. Uh, Shows somebody, it looks like they're hacking into a system or something, or accessing it. Secretly spend up to 2 credits. The corp guesses how much you spent. So you can spend 0, 1, or 2 credits. And if the corp guesses how much you spent, you reveal it. If they guessed incorrectly, make a run and choose a piece of ice protecting the attacked server. Bypass that ice when you encounter it. All right. So for 0, 1, or 2 credits, if the corp guesses incorrectly, you get to make a run and bypass a piece of ice. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. I kind of I do like that one. And it's only 1 influence on this particular one. So unless you have a great um, unless you have a great pile of influence uh, that you've already used up, then there should be no problem working this into a deck. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. So that is Fear the Masses. Uh, I hope you've enjoyed listening to me just ramble on about the cards, the new ones. There's a few that I really, really find interesting in this particular one. Some of the Mumbad cycle is um, definitely piquing my interest. So yeah, I will leave this episode of the archives here, um, and yeah, I don't. There's nothing really else to say other than that in terms of the cards. I thought I might have had something there, but it turns out I didn't. I'm a little tired. You probably heard me yawning. So I will leave this episode of the archives here. If you like what I'm doing, please give that like button a tap. Give that subscribe button a tap if you haven't already, so you can be kept apprised of when I do other videos. I usually try and put something out once a week, um, if I can. And throw a comment in the comment section below. Do you like Netrunner? Have you been up with the Mumbad cycle? Have you used any of the cards? Let's get a discussion going. I'd love to talk with anybody about Netrunner. It's one of my favorite games right now. Probably will be for quite a while. So I will leave that there. And my friends, until next time, you all keep running.